All right, let's dive into the first part of the novel, Halablass. We're heading back to the dusty caravan routes of 1950s Syria. And this is a story where a young boy's grief and a young man's ambition are on an absolute collision course. So, our whole story unfolds on this ancient road, a real lifeline for trade and travel back then. And it's right here that a single, violent moment is going to link the lives of a grieving village boy and an ambitious city man forever. Their paths are totally separate, but their destinies, not so much. So, to really get how this all goes down, we've got to get to know our two main guys. I mean, they come from completely different worlds, but they are both heading towards the exact same fateful road. And this really captures what drives them. On one side, you've got Muhammad. He's a boy from the village of Balas, and his life, right now, is all about loss. This heavy weight of responsibility and just survival. Then, on the other side, there's Abu Ghada, a young man from the busy city of Aleppo. And for him, it's all about ambition, his sense of honor, and a really powerful, forbidden love. Okay, first, let's meet Muhammad. He's just 13, and he's lost both of his parents within 40 days of each other. Can you imagine? His older brother Abdul Wahab is way more interested in his prize horse than his family, so Muhammad is left shouldering a man's responsibilities. He's grieving, he feels alone, and he's just desperate for things to change. Meanwhile, over in the bustling city of Aleppo, we meet Abu Rada. He's 19, works for his father, who's a respected spice merchant. His life seems pretty much set, until he falls hard for Fauzia, the girl next door. So what's the problem? Well, his father absolutely forbids it. And not for any good reason, but because of some old, deep-seated family grudge. So here we are. We have two young men, and each one is facing this wall that they feel like they just can't climb. And it's that feeling, of being trapped that pushes both of them down a path to pure desperation. A path that's going to lead them to make some life-altering choices. For Muhammad, that desperation, it looks like wanting what he can't have. He and his friend Ahmed, they get this idea in their heads that the only way to get any respect, to get girls to notice them, is to have the status symbols of a man. A really fine horse, a rifle like a Bruno or a Mauser, and a fancy cloak. But how are two poor village boys ever going to afford all that? Well, Ahmed cooks up a plan that seems pretty simple to their teenage minds. Highway robbery. They'll get some guns, find a vulnerable target on the caravan route, and bam, get rich quick. It's a dangerously naive plan, of course, born from this desperate need to escape their circumstances. And it is what sets them on that collision course. Now, Abu Ghada's desperation is just as powerful, but it's coming from a totally different place. He decides that if his father won't help him marry Fauzia, fine, he'll do it himself. He needs money, and he needs it fast. So his big plan is to start a risky grain trading business, basically defying his father and striking out on his own to prove he's his own man. And this quote, this just perfectly illustrates the stubborn obstacle Abu Ghada is up against. His father's hatred for Fauzia's family, the Bargles, is so deep and so petty that he claims it's ruined his appetite for bulgur wheat, a staple food. This isn't about logic, it's about an old, irrational grudge, and it's the very thing that kicks off Abu Ghada's fateful journey. And so, the stage is set. You've got Muhammad and Ahmed hiding among the rocks, just waiting for a target. And you've got Abu Ghida on the road, his mind filled with thoughts of love and profit. Two separate stories are about to become one, and it's going to happen in a moment of shocking violence. This is where Abu Ghada makes a huge mistake. He's impatient. He just wants to get back to Aleppo, sell his grain, and prove himself. People told him to wait for the safety of a larger caravan, but he doesn't listen. He sets out with just 2 helpers and 15 mules. He's confident, he's armed, and he has absolutely no idea that he's just made himself the perfect target. The ambush happens so fast. It's just 4 violent moments. As Abu Ghada's little caravan enters the trap, Ahmed fires a shot. Abu Ghada's horse just rears in terror. He tries to pull out his pistol, but it's too late. The horse bolts and his foot gets tangled in the stirrup. He's dragged across the rocky ground until he's knocked completely unconscious. The boys then quickly overpower his helpers and take everything: the mules, the grain, Abu Ghada's pistol, and his prized silver dagger. So a few moments of violence, and everything changes. The crime itself is over, but its consequences are going to cast a long, dark shadow over the lives of every single person involved, for years and years to come. Right away, you see the effects. Abu Ghada is rescued and taken to a hospital in Aleppo, his body and his brand new business venture completely broken. Meanwhile, Muhammad and Ahmed are hiding their loot in a cave, but a huge crack is already forming between them. Muhammad is just horrified by the violence, completely overwhelmed with guilt. On the other hand, he feels triumphant. And this slide just perfectly captures their moral split. When Muhammad calls them thieves, Ahmed sharply corrects him. A thief, he says, is a sneaky coward. They are highwaymen, brave men who want a fair fight. He's romanticizing their brutal attack, creating this justification that Muhammad's conscience just cannot accept. And from that exact moment, their paths just split dramatically. Muhammad, who is haunted by guilt, decides he's going to use his share of the stolen money as seed capital for a legitimate business. His goal isn't profit, it's redemption. He literally vows to one day find the man he wronged and pay him back, with interest. Ahmed, he loves the thrill. He embraces the life of a criminal, and, well, it eventually leads to his death. So, years go by. Muhammad's quest for redemption has this totally unexpected side effect. It makes him incredibly successful. But, as it turns out, fate has a very, very long memory. You see, Muhammad just throws himself into his work. He trades grain, then he moves into livestock, and his reputation for being honest and shrewd just grows and grows. He becomes a real pillar of his community, this well-known and respected merchant. And his success eventually leads him into the very lucrative and dangerous world of weapons trading. Now, a huge part of his success is a partnership he forms with this man named Abu Amsha al-Bukhari, an influential trader from Aleppo. They meet in the livestock market, and Abu Amsha just takes this bright, ambitious young man under his wing. They end up becoming close friends and powerful business partners, and they have no idea that they're creating a link right back to Muhammad's past. And this is where fate plays its final card. See, Abu Amsha has a lot of friends, and it just so happens that one of them is a man from Aleppo, a man with a painful past and a very strong connection to the arms trade. That's right. Abu Amsha's other best friend is none other than Abu Ghada. Years after the robbery, Abu Ghada is recovered, and his uncle is a major player in the weapons business. Abu Amsha, seeing this golden opportunity, decides he must introduce his two brilliant friends, Muhammad and Abu Ghada. He thinks they can partner up and take their arms business to the next level. The robber is about to be formally introduced to his victim. And that is exactly where the first part of the novel leaves us, at this incredible moment of tension. When these two men finally shake hands, is the truth of their shared past going to come out? Will Muhammad find the redemption he's been looking for? Or is his past about to explode into a whole new conflict? Will they become partners, or will they become rivals?